In the 1960s, Honda launched the iconic monkey bike to try and help sort Japan's congestion issues, and it's had a cult following ever since. Then in 2013, it had a major update with this, the Mini Street Extreme 125. So it went from being this cute little classic retro surf bike to this, an aggressive looking street fighter supermoto machine. Now I've been dying to get my hands on one of these as it looks like a lot of fun, and today is my day. So I've been out tearing up the streets on the MSX for a good few hours this morning. I thought I'd pull up here at Rikers, our favourite biking hotspot in the south, and take a closer look at it. Powered by Honda's trusty, proven 125cc air-cooled single-cylinder four-stroke engine, producing around about 9 horsepower. Now you may look at this and think, well, it's just a scooter, twist and go, but actually it's got a conventional 4-speed gearbox, clutch and chain drive, just like a normal bike, proper big bike, only in a very small package, a bit like my t-shirts when I've washed them. So following on with the big bike theme, it looks really trick. I mean, it's got upside down forks on the front, monoshock on the rear, single brake disc, Nissan calipers front and back. The LCD dash is really nice, and I think you kind of get a lot for this bike, this size. It's quite unusual. So you've got obviously your speedo, you've got how many miles you've done, twin trip meters, the time, and also a fuel gauge, which again is quite unusual for a bike this size. How about rider aids? Well, it's got none. It's got no ABS, no electronics. You just got your 2 wheels, your seat, your engine and your handlebars. Honda says that the MSX does around about 134 miles per gallon. So on its 5.5 litre tank, you're looking at about 160 miles. Now, I've been riding all morning and the fuel gauge has gone down by 1 bar. The tyres, you're looking at around about £50 for a pair. This would be a really good bike for budding young riders to have at the age of like 17. I know that I would have much preferred to have had something like this than my Katana R, which I did have, my little twist and go. This has just got a bit more street cred. Now I love the look of the original monkey bike. I think it looks really cute, really classic, retro, and obviously Honda have taken a completely different direction with the MSX. It's more street, more urban, street fighter, supermoto style, like Kawasaki's Z100, which I know we don't get in the UK, but that type of look I think would appeal to younger riders, newer riders than say Suzuki's Van, where they've kept the original retro styling. Okay, so that's enough about the boring, practical, technical stuff. Let's talk about the fun stuff, because essentially that's what this bike is all about. It really feels like a mini motocross bike, and I just really want to take it off-road, but I wouldn't, no. I was expecting the MSX to be a bit of an uncomfortable ride because the seat is apparently quite hard. Well, I didn't find it hard at all. I found it quite soft, but that might be because I've got extra padding in my junk. The suspension is really soft, and I felt like every time I went over a bump that I was being launched off the seat, but that's all part and parcel of the fun of riding this bike. It's also really easy to slow ride as it's so well balanced. But I mean, you can get your feet flat on the floor on this anyway, and if you can't, then maybe it's not the right bike for you. Maybe you shouldn't even be riding bikes. As you can see, there's a pillion seat, foot pegs, but I don't think it's a very good bike to take a pillion on. I mean, when I was riding it, my bum was right at the back of the seat, so there wouldn't be any room for them. And if you did have someone, you'd be right up against the tank. And what I quite like about this bike is that you do move around a lot on the seat, so you kind of adopt a bit of a supermoto riding style. I quite like the fact that you are able to move around on it quite freely and feel safe still, even though you've got little tyres. Talking about small wheels, sorry, nothing personal. How does this bike handle? Well, I've kind of done a bit of everything today. I've been around the town, I've been on dual carriageways, around country lanes, off-road. You can obviously go on the motorway on this. I've heard that it does up to like 64 miles per hour, but I think you'd be a little bit vulnerable kind of going those kind of speeds on the motorway. Where this bike really excels is in the town, filtering through traffic, beating most cars, I'd say, off the traffic lights, and being able to park it in little small spaces. But when you do park it up, you need to think about how you can keep it safe, because let's face it, you could just pick this bike up and stick it in a van, off you go. I found out that during the development of this bike, Honda actually applied for 4 patents. So that just shows how important this bike is to them. It's not a toy. This is a serious bit of kit. When riding this, it feels really well made, just what you'd expect from a normal size Honda. But for me, there are a couple of little issues. The mirrors, I don't see the point in them because they're a little bit dangerous where they are. You have to kind of like juggle around to try and see anything. And also the switch gears are really close together and really little, so every time I was going to indicate, I'd hit the horn, which isn't ideal. Now, I did think that I'd be picking up the 2016 model this morning, which has had a few updates to make it look even more aggressive. New headlights, new styling, the seats a little bit higher at the back, and also an underslung exhaust. I actually checked my blind spot there, did you see that? In an empty field. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't been on Bike World for a while. Whenever I'm on 2 wheels, I'm always smiling. But today, being back on these 2 wheels, I've genuinely been laughing out loud. It has been that much fun. It's great to see people's reactions when you go past. And I like to think they're laughing with me and not at me. Who cares anyway? If you want to find out more about this bike, just head to phmotorcycles.co.uk.